Hello, this is Tom Styles, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And today I'm going to attempt to do a review on this Kaito KA1101 AM FM shortwave radio. I've been looking on the internet for the manual, and I cannot find the manual. And I got this off of eBay, and it didn't come with a manual. What it did come with is an AC adapter and a carrying case, and the radio. And the radio also has a little handle, whatever you call that thing, strap. So we're going to review this today, despite the fact that I don't have a manual. So I'm probably don't know everything about this radio. Well, heck, I don't know everything about any radio, so it doesn't really matter. We're kind of normal. Let's just go on. We're going to use my shortwave radio report card, and these are the things that I look at when I'm reviewing a radio. I look at the look and feel. Okay. Jeez. Yeah, I look at that, and then I look at readability, and I look at the power options, tuning, audio quality, and then special features it might have that other radios might not have. And then lastly, I will do a separate video showing you the reception capability of the radio when conditions are good. It's in the middle of the afternoon right now, and except for the upper bands, conditions aren't that great. And then I gave it a final grade, and I graded it on the normal ABC grading system. So we'll see how it goes. So we're going to start off with the look and feel of the radio. And what I look at here is, how does the radio feel, and overall, how does it look? So the feel of the radio is very good. The plastic is a nice, it's a dull finish. It's not shiny. And I was surprised when I first took it out of the box. I'm like, oh, I can't believe this guy shipped it with batteries. Well, it didn't have any batteries in it. It's just that heavy. And you can see about the size of it. You know, it kind of fits in the palm of my hand. And it has a little kickstand in the back. So I like those little kickstands. So you can set the radio up like this, get a nice viewing angle, and away you go. The buttons feel very good. They're nice and tactile. They're not sluggish. They respond very well. I've had some radios, even brand new ones, that the buttons you have to like push and hold and hit them a couple of times. And they're kind of intermittent, even on a brand new radio. And this one, the buttons feel real good. And I think that's about all about look and feel. We'll get into some other things and something else. Okay, so I'm going to give it, I see nothing wrong with the look and feel of this. I see nothing. I can't really complain about anything. So I'm going to give it an A. Right off the bat, it gets an A. So the next one is readability. And that encompasses two different things at least. One is the readability of the display. Now, this is, when it's off, it shows you the clock with the hours, minutes, and seconds down here in the corner. Shows you the battery status. And those are all fairly easy to read and recognize, even for me with my poor eyes. But when I turn the radio on, okay, let me turn the volume down. The display is still very easy to read. Nice big numbers, very easy to read. Even the small lettering, easy for me to read. Then you get up here, and across here are 5 icons, and one of them will have a dot above it, or a little square above it, to tell you what band you're in. Well, I cannot read that lettering. I literally had to get a magnifying glass to see what it was saying. So that's not too good, but it's one of those things. It's not that complicated, and once you've looked at it under, in my case, under a magnifying glass, you'll recognize what it is, and then you will probably remember. Plus, you can pretty well tell by looking at the frequency what band you're on. So the numbering, the lettering I should say, is not too bad. Now it does suffer, it could be better. It does suffer from something I really don't like, which is light gray on a little darker gray. So the letters and numbers are light gray, and some of the writing is red. It's okay. I've got a lot of light on right now since I'm recording, but I would guess if I'm in a low light condition, I probably couldn't read that. I probably couldn't read it. And then the lettering over here, it's pretty small. So I'm gonna give it, I'll give it a letter down because of that. So we got the display up here that's kind of hard to read. We got the lettering that's gray on gray, except for the red. So I'm going to say readability. I'm going to knock that down. I would almost knock it down to a C, but since the important things, which are the frequency, very easy to read. So I'm going to leave it at a B. You know how generous I am. Okay, the next one is power options. And as I said initially, it does come with an AC adapter, so you don't have to purchase an AC adapter. And like I say, the original radio did come with an AC adapter, so you can run it on AC. That plugs in right here, right there. And it does use, let me open this up, it does use three AA batteries. And I like the fact that this is, I call it hinged. It's not really hinged, but it's held so it doesn't get misplaced. So I like that feature on the little door for the batteries. So that's nice. So we have two ways of powering it, and to me that's acceptable. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not like an emergency radio where you've got 3 or 4 ways of powering it. It's not that type of radio. So I'm going to say there's nothing wrong with power options. I'm going to give it an A. So it's doing pretty good so far. Tuning. Now, here we go on tuning. There is no tuning knob or dial or anything else. You have to tune using the buttons. And they work very well. As you can see right now, I had set it originally to 10 megahertz and it's going up. I haven't found out if there's a way to, right now you can, if I can get the light right, you can see where it's incrementing at 5 kilohertz. So number one, again, unless I'm missing something, you can't tune down to 1 kilohertz. The minimum is 5 kilohertz. The manual would have told me that, but again, I can't find the manual. So that's my assumption. I believe, and we're going to try it right now, I believe if you push and hold, and there's 2 buttons here, plus or minus, that's what I'm talking about. It goes into scan mode. So you got the plus and minus to go up and down in frequency. You can hold either down and it will start scanning looking for a station, or it has a keypad. So the fact that it has a keypad is a real plus. I mean, if you want to get to a special frequency that you're interested in right away, just type it in. Unlike some other radios where you've either got to turn a tuning knob for forever, or hold down a button forever to get from, say, 4 megahertz to 10 megahertz. This one you can just punch it in. So that's good. So as far as tuning, it gets an A. I have to take it, now I take that back, I have to take it down a notch, a letter. For number 1, it doesn't tune at 1 kilohertz that I know of. I haven't found any way of doing that, but I could have missed it. And number 2 is that it has no tuning knob, so that you can kind of try to zero in on a station. You can't, but of course you can't zero in too good anyway because it only tunes at 5 kilohertz minimum. So I'm going to knock that down a C. Tuning, I'm going to give it a C. Compared to other radios like this, I'm going to have to give it a C. Audio quality, I found that on AM, FM, and shortwave the audio is fine, even though it's got a very small speaker. Let me just turn it on for a second. I don't have a station in there. Let me have to be careful and go to an FM station.
My favorite video games for hours before they get back. But now,
plenty of volume.
GT Financial,
And
my parents do all their banking from home on their phone or tablet.
It does not distort. So the audio is fine. I mean, you don't have to add, an earbud or a speaker. The built-in speaker, the audio is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Plus, it does have a tone control, 2-position music and news, which it's in music right now. So it does have that capability also. And it does help a little bit when you're trying to tune shortwave to go to music mode. Plus, it does have on this side, it does have a local and DX switch in case it's getting overloaded. And down here, if I won't show up on my camera, is a button that you can change the filter. It has 2 filters, a narrow and wide filter. And you use that in shortwave band, for instance. It also, that button is used for selecting either FM stereo or mono if you're in the FM band. So as far as audio quality, I'm going to give it an A. No reason not to give it an A. It does have an earphone jack right there, so you can use earphones. So now we're down to special features. What special features might this radio have? And some things that you wouldn't consider a special feature, I consider a special feature. For instance, it has, believe it or not, this little radio has an external antenna jack. To me, that is a special feature. It has, of course, the standard telescopic antenna. And it also has another feature I really like, is it has a line out jack. So you can run this into an external amplifier, a recorder, your computer, whatever. So it's got that. I mentioned the music and news switch and the local DX switch. Let me think, is there anything else? Can't think of anything else that would be a special feature. This is the volume knob right here. Right there, change the volume. I did mention that it has a kickstand, and I think that's about it. It does have an alarm that you can set up to either make a noise when it's time for the alarm to go off, or to start the radio and play the radio. It does have memory, so you can store your 50 favorite stations, and it's broken down into 10 memories location for each band. It does have 2 shortwave bands. So I'll tell you what the shortwave bands are. Shortwave 1 is 3 megahertz to 10 megahertz. Shortwave 2 is 10 megahertz to 26 megahertz. So the bandwidth on shortwave is 3 megahertz to 26 megahertz. It also, this is really strange. It has 2 FM bands, and it's got an FM band that goes from 87 megahertz to 108. That's what's standard in the United States. And it has one that goes from 70 megahertz to 95.9 megahertz. So it has 2 FM bands. It's a dual conversion radio, which means its selectivity should be better. And we'll find out when we do the reception testing. It has a backlight, but I'm looking hard, and I've looked hard before. I can't. Let me just try one of these 2 buttons. Nope. Well, that was nothing to do. I don't see how you turn the backlight on. And let me hold it in the dark here. And I don't see any backlight. Supposedly, what I saw on a review is that right here is a little light sensor, and the light sensor turns the backlight on and off automatically. Let me try holding my thumb over it, and I'm going to take it outside the area of the lights. I cannot see a backlight come on. It doesn't mean it's not working. It just means maybe I got too much ambient light in this room and it won't come on. I'll have to try that at night, and I'll put a little note in the video saying whether I got it to work or not. It may not be working, for that matter. This is a used radio. So that's all the special features. I did mention the sleep timer. Now, right now, I just noticed it is showing an 86 here. I wonder if that's temperature, because that's about how hot it is in my office with all these lights on right now. It's about 86 degrees. Matter of fact, if I look across the room, yep, that's the temperature. I looked at my other thermometer and it's 86 degrees. So that probably is temperature. So that's another special feature. So I think it did good on special features. So I'm going to give it an A on special features. I really like this little radio. I think I paid $20 for it, and I think you could even still find it on the internet. Seemed like when I was trying to find some information, I did find some place that was supposedly still selling them. This is quite old. You know, this has been replaced by an 1102 and 1103, and then of course there's the 1103 is a lot larger and has a lot more features. Okay, so where are we? Let me put the radio back here out of the way. So look and feel, we got an A. Readability, I got a B. Power options, you got an A. Pretty generous there. Tuning, yeah, had to hurt it on that one. C. Audio quality was an A. Special features an A. So we're looking at easily a B. Easily, you know, you take one of these A's in the C and that makes a B. Yeah, it's almost an A minus or a B plus. So it's looking pretty good. So if it does good under reception, it'll probably score a B. If it doesn't do too good on reception, that could knock it down. So anyway, that's the review. If you have one of these and you could provide me with any corrections or additional information, I'd appreciate it. You can send me an email at trrs73@gmail.com. And that's about it. I really like this radio. And if you enjoyed this kind of review because I didn't have a manual to properly learn it in a short period of time, please give me a thumbs up. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.